Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to BC's Sports Historian channel, where we like to talk about the could've, would've, and should'ves of the sports world. Now, we are mainly going to focus on former football players on this channel, with a few baseball players mixed in as well, and maybe the occasional basketball player as well. If there are any former athletes that you would like us to discuss on this channel, feel free to name them in the comment section below. We're going to get into former linebacker, Notre Dame linebacker, and Dallas Cowboy linebacker Jaylon Smith. All right. Jaylon, as mentioned, was a favorite athlete of mine. I remember him very vividly, and I was expecting him to have a very, very prosperous career, and he is yet another football player that just kind of disappeared, vanished, and this is an athlete that I had a lot of personal investment in. I was very curious about this player, so I was very happy to do the research and find out what exactly happened with this player. So we're going to get right into Mr. Jaylon Smith. He was born on June 14th, 1995. He attended Bishop Luers High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where he was a letterman in football, basketball, and track. In football, he won the Butkus Award as a senior, given to the best high school linebacker in the country, and was named the Mr. Football Award winner for the state of Indiana. He helped Bishop Luers to a 40-28 win over Indianapolis Cardinal Ritter in the 2012 Indiana 2A title game, while rushing for 150 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns, as Bishop Luers became the first Indiana 2A school to win 4 straight titles. He finished that season with 1,265 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns on 176 attempts as a senior, to go with 10 receptions for 66 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Defensively, he recorded 72 tackles, 19.5 tackles for a loss, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery, and 7 pass deflections. In basketball, he played as a freshman, sophomore, and junior at Bishop Luers, and was teammates with former Ohio State basketball player Deshaun Thompson. In track and field, Smith competed in events ranging from relays to the shot put as a senior. Smith signed his letter of intent on February 6, 2013, and committed to attend and play football at the University of Notre Dame. He was considered the best outside linebacker recruit of his class by Rivals.com and Scout.com. We have some of his college recruiting information here coming out of Bishop Luers High School. His height is listed at 6'3", weight 237 pounds, and a 40 time of 4.5 seconds. So that's really good size and really good speed, especially for a linebacker. Again, this is according to Rivals.com. 6'3", 237, and 4'5", 40. Pretty athletic there, in my opinion. In 2013, Smith won the starting linebacker position, beating out Ben Council after incumbent starter Danny Spond had to retire due to migraine issues. Starting all 13 games, he recorded 67 tackles, including 6.5 for loss, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass breakups, and 1 interception. His best game came in a 34-30 victory against Arizona State, where he recorded 9 tackles, including 1.5 for loss. He notched his first career interception against USC on a pass thrown by former USC quarterback Cody Kessler. With the arrival of a new defensive coordinator, he was moved to an inside linebacker position in 2014. He was one of 3 players to start all 13 games on defense, recording 112 tackles, including 9 for loss and 3.5 sacks, adding 2 pass breakups and 1 forced fumble. He was named the FBS Independent Co-Defensive Player of the Year and was also named a second-team All-American by the Associated Press. Going into his junior year now, in 2015, Jaylon Smith played in all 13 games with 115 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 5 passes defended, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 forced fumble. He won the Buckus Award given annually to college football's top linebacker. During the Fiesta Bowl game against Ohio State, Smith suffered a horrible knee injury in the first quarter and left the game. It was later confirmed that the knee was diagnosed with tears to the ACL and LCL. He underwent successful knee surgery on both ligaments on January 7th, 2016, and on January 11th, 2016, Smith announced he would forego his senior season and enter the 2016 NFL Draft. Now, this moment I remember very vividly. I was actually watching this Fiesta Bowl game, and I actually had a lot of respect for Jaylon at this time, because this was when you were starting to see more and more players declining to play in their bowl games because they were entering the draft and they didn't want to risk getting hurt, which I understand that, but at the same time, you know, you're from the team aspect. If you're really good and your team is relying on you to win, they need you, and it's very respectable when you see a player want to stick it out with his team and end up actually playing in the bowl game and contributing, to his team winning. And I saw the play when it happened. I remember it, and my heart just sank because you respected the fact that he played, and then he ended up suffering a very, very horrific knee injury there. In just 3 years at Notre Dame, Jaylon had a really, really good career. His total tackle numbers increased every year, and he had 110 or over 110 tackles rather in each of his last 2 seasons. His pre-draft measurables are as follows: height 6'2", weight 223 pounds, arm length 33 inches, and hands in a hand span of 9.5 inches. Not quite sure what the arm length and hand span have to do with athletic talents. I know hand span, they say the bigger the hand, the better it is for quarterbacks to grip the ball and throw the ball. But for a linebacker, or pretty much any other position, other than maybe wide receiver, I'm not sure. But it's just always funny when I see those pre-draft measurables like arm length and hand span. But anyway, getting back into Jaylon Smith. Prior to his Fiesta Bowl injury, Jaylon was projected to be a top 5 pick in the 2016 NFL Draft. Smith attended the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis in order to meet with teams, but was unable to participate in workouts due to his injury. On April 14th, 2016, Smith was one of multiple prospects to undergo extensive medical evaluations as multiple teams were worried about the possibility of nerve damage. He received tests to objectively measure his nerve function. At the conclusion of the pre-draft process, NFL draft experts and scouts projected Smith to be selected as early as the second round to as late as the sixth round. The majority of NFL draft experts projected him to be a third or fourth round pick. He was ranked the 10th best outside linebacker prospect in the draft by DraftScout.com, and was ranked the 11th best linebacker by NFL analyst Mike Mayock. The Dallas Cowboys selected Smith in the second round, 34th overall of the 2016 NFL Draft. The selection of Smith by the Cowboys surprised many observers in the media as they gambled on Smith's ability to return from his serious left knee injury. On May 20th, 2016, the Dallas Cowboys signed Smith to a 4-year, $6.49 million contract that includes $4.42 million guaranteed and a signing bonus of $2.92 million. Jared Dubin, a CBS sports writer, stated in an article posted to CBSSports.com that the Cowboys are confident in their diagnosis because it was their team physician that did Jaylon Smith's surgery. He also went on to point out that since the team's physician was the one to do the surgery, the Cowboys had more up-to-date information than other teams. Dubin then continued by saying that the Cowboys were in dire need of a superstar like Jaylon Smith and that they could not afford to lose such a valuable prospect. As expected, Jaylon Smith was inactive for the entire 2016 NFL season as he recovered from his torn ACL and MCL. On June 7, 2017, Smith participated in drills for the first time in front of the media since his torn ACL and MCL. Smith entered training camp as a backup middle linebacker. On July 26, 2017, Smith took part in practice in full pads for the first time since college, but received limited reps as the coaching staff was cautious as he became acclimated to playing in full pads. The Dallas Cowboys plan to use Smith as a backup and rotational player primarily on first and second down to avoid putting him in pass situations. The plan was to use him for 25 to 30 snaps per game, but that plan was eventually scrapped after they were forced to use him more than expected after starting middle linebacker Anthony Hitchens suffered a tibial plateau fracture in the last preseason game. Head coach Jason Garrett named Smith the starting middle linebacker to begin the regular season alongside outside linebackers Sean Lee and Damian Wilson. He made his professional regular season debut and first career start in the Dallas Cowboys season opener against the New York Giants and recorded 7 combined tackles and forced a fumble during their 19-3 victory. In Week 7, Jaylon Smith was demoted to the backup middle linebacker role after Anthony Hitchens returned from injury. Smith finished his second NFL season in 2017 with 81 combined tackles, 2 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 sack in 16 games and 6 starts. The next season in 2018, Smith entered training camp slated as the starting middle linebacker after Anthony Hitchens departed for the Kansas City Chiefs. Head coach Jason Garrett named Smith the starting middle linebacker to start the regular season ahead of rookie first-round pick Leighton Vander Esch. He began the season alongside outside linebackers Sean Lee and Damian Wilson. In the 2018 season, Smith finished with 4 sacks, 121 total tackles, 4 passes defended, and 2 forced fumbles. He was ranked 61st by his fellow players on the NFL Top 100 Players of 2019 list. So his first full season as a starter ended up being pretty successful. Now moving on to the next season, the 2019 NFL season. Smith signed a 5-year, $64 million contract extension with the Cowboys with $35.5 million guaranteed, keeping him under contract through the 2024 season. Smith was also elected as a first-time team captain for the 2019 Dallas Cowboys. In the 2019 season, Smith finished with 2.5 sacks, a whopping 142 total tackles, 1 interception, 9 passes defended, and 2 forced fumbles. He was ranked 88th by his fellow players on the NFL Top 100 Players of 2020 list. In the next 2020 season, Jaylon Smith started receiving criticism from the media during the season because of his level of play and the defensive struggles. He finished that season with 145 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 interception, and 5 passes defended. And it's here where you kind of started hearing grumblings about his declining play. And for me, it was kind of like I didn't really know what the media was talking about. I personally did not see it, but we are going to get into that later in this video. In the following 2021 season, he had wrist surgery in January. He also announced his decision to change his number from 54 to the number 9 from his college days, despite public backlash from some of the fan base saying that number belonged to former quarterback Tony Romo. It was reported in the media that the change forced Jaylon Smith to pay a mid-6-figure sum in order to buy back the existing inventory of jerseys and t-shirts with his old number. On October 5th, 2021, the Cowboys released Smith after he declined to waive his 2022 injury guarantee contract clause to protect the team from a possible payment of $9.2 million, and after he was passed on the depth chart by rookie Micah Parsons and veteran Keanu Neal. He appeared in 4 games with 2 starts during that season. He finished his Cowboys career with 68 games, 516 tackles, 9 sacks, 2 interceptions, 6 forced fumbles, and 5 fumble recoveries. So that effectively ended his Dallas Cowboy career in 2021. I can understand they drafted Micah Parsons that season, or prior to that season, and as we all have seen, Micah Parsons has turned out to be an absolute beast. So, moving on. On October 7th, 2021, Jaylon Smith signed with the Green Bay Packers. On November 2nd, 2021, Smith was released. He appeared in 2 games, collecting 1 tackle in 27 defensive snaps. On December 17th, 2021, Jaylon Smith signed with the practice squad of the New York Giants. He reunited with offensive coordinator Jason Garrett, who was his head coach with the Dallas Cowboys. On December 18th, 2021, Smith was activated from the practice squad as a COVID-19 replacement for the game against his former team, the Dallas Cowboys. On December 20th, 2021, Smith was promoted to the active roster. He appeared in 4 games with 2 starts, making 19 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 pass defended. On September 20th, 2022, Smith was re-signed by the New York Giants to their practice squad. On October 1st, 2022, he was promoted to the active roster. He seized the middle linebacker role over Tay Crowder in the 8th game against the Seattle Seahawks. He appeared in 13 games with 11 starts, tallying 74 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 fumble recovery, while leading the linebackers with 724 defensive snaps. The following season, on August 11th, 2023, Smith signed with the New Orleans Saints. He was then released by the Saints on August 29th, 2023, and re-signed to the practice squad. On November 2nd, 2023, Smith was signed by the Las Vegas Raiders off the Saints practice squad. He appeared in 1 game against the New York Giants, making 2 tackles in 25 defensive snaps. He was declared inactive in 2 contests. He was then released on November 22nd, 2023. On December 27th, 2023, Smith was signed to the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad. His contract expired at the end of the season, and he was not re-signed. Most recently, on May 12, 2025, Smith signed with the Las Vegas Raiders again, and then he was released again on August 25th. And that, so far, okay, let me say so far, seems to be the end of Jaylon Smith's pro career. It looks like he's still trying to play. I have not heard or found anything saying that he has decided to retire. His NFL career statistics, when you look on paper, especially between the 2018 through the 2020 seasons, on paper, he looks really, really good. He had a combined 121 tackles in 2018, a combined 142 tackles in 2019, and a combined 154 tackles in 2020. Sack totals, not, great, but I mean, for a middle linebacker, it's not terrible. He had 4 sacks in 2018, 2.5 sacks in 2019, and 1.5 sacks in 2020. Until I really, really looked into him, I wasn't quite sure what was the reason for Jaylon Smith just kind of falling off the map here. I was always confused by that. I thought he was a badass playmaking linebacker, but there were some underlying issues that were hiding in plain sight, apparently. We're going to get into that next after doing a little bit of digging. I found some excerpts from Inside the Star written by Jess Haney, and she writes, "Some fans don't get why people are down on Smith's play. After all, he did lead the team in tackles for 2 years and was even among the league leaders in that one statistic. Jaylon's issues are beyond the box score. His breakdowns and mental lapses in coverage are easy to see, and his tackles, while many, are happening after opponents are well past the line of scrimmage. His actual effectiveness on the field has dropped significantly from 2018. one of the lower graded starting linebackers in football. Fans are especially hard on Jaylon because of his celebratory antics on the field and occasional comments that indicate he doesn't see his own flaws. And now that he's switching to the number 9 jersey, still attributed to Tony Romo in the hearts of Cowboys fans, Smith is under even greater scrutiny. So, apparently, what myself and perhaps other fans of his failed to realize at the time was he had trouble in pass coverage, and a lot of his tackles were much further down the field and were just kind of like mop up, clean up tackles that really don't amount to much when, the guy already gained, a significant amount of yardage. So, not sure if he wasn't athletic enough to maybe get down the field or instinctive enough, or just got lost in pass coverage. Not sure what the reasoning was for his kind of downfall after the 2018 season. But I wish him the best. This seems to be all the information I could find on him so far. He just did, try to play this season in 2025 before he was released again. So seems like he's still trying to play. And who knows, maybe he can find a career rejuvenation in the right system, playing for the right coach. Who knows? But I always liked Jaylon Smith. Had a ton of respect for him for playing in the bowl game despite, him getting injured and potentially ending his entire career before he even started. So I'm glad that he got to at least enjoy a few good years in the NFL at a very high level. He did have a few productive years. So hopefully he can come back and have a few more productive years on top of that. So that ends this video talking about former linebacker, or actually shall I say current linebacker, Jaylon Smith. Now, if there are any other athletes that you would like us to discuss on this channel, as always, please list them below in the comment section. And let me know what you think of Jaylon Smith. Did you like him? Did you think he was overrated? Let me know. Like to get some comments going and a little bit of debate going. And also, please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you.